Hi guys, so it is a Saturday morning. It's lovely and sunny in the flat. I'm on my own. I'm still in my PJs, forgive me. But that is sometimes my coziest time that I like to write. Um, I get up, I have my breakfast, which I just had, and then get down some writing done. Put some music on. Um, so I realised the last update I did was a couple of weeks ago, but that was a book review, so it wasn't really talking about anything that I've been doing. I think last update-ish thing was my pregnancy video. I'm not gonna do many of those sorts of videos. It's just that that is what happened. And I kind of wanted to do like a little collection of the clips that I'd been building up. And yeah, talk about it because it's a big thing that's happening with me right now. I am about 4.5 months pregnant. I'm 19 weeks on Monday, so I'm 18 and 5 days. I'm meeting up with my friend a bit later on today, and her little toddler's coming over. And she is also pregnant, and she's a few weeks ahead of me, so she's probably coming up to 23 weeks, something like that. So she's gone past the halfway point, and I'm nearly at the halfway point. But yeah, pregnancy stuff been okay generally. A lot of the usual symptoms that you expect, but generally been okay so far. We'll see. I've been working as normal. I work in a school, so I work full time. So I've been trying to get a little bit of writing done in some evenings if I've got energy. I don't always have energy to do things when I get home from work. Or sometimes I'd just rather read. And right now I'm reading From the Myths of Kings, which is the sequel to From the Mouths of Sirens by Abigail Hare. It's like a mermaidy book. The first one was really, really good. It was like a trial between different kingdoms and everything, and this is continuing on. I think this is a lot of the backstory that goes into it is being talked about. Yeah, so that is the reading thing. I'm also doing the audiobook for Onyx Storm, but that is taking me forever to read. I have about 14 hours left still, so I don't read it all the time. I read it like when I'm waiting for transport sometimes, or I'm like in the bath or whatever. So I'm kind of doing two books, I guess. I'm also writing two books at once, which I never do. This is a thing that I really struggled with because I did creative writing at uni, and we had to do each term we'd have to have 4 small projects due around the same time. They'd all be 4,000 words, 7,000 words. Different years obviously had different projects. Some were different genres sort of stuff, like a short story piece or something, and then or beginning of a novel or whatever, and then a contextual study to talk about what you did and why, that sort of stuff. And I really struggled to do so many different projects at once, even smaller things. I've always been set on one thing at a time. I don't know why. I find it really hard. However, I am writing and have been writing recently the sequel to The Girl Behind the Glass, which is my second published book. This is a dark retelling of Snow White. It's on KU. It's on Amazon. So it's a dark retelling of Snow White with witches, mages, lots of magic. There's ghostly elements in there as well, and all that sort of stuff. I'm writing the book that follows this, so this is a duology. However, there will be lots of other fairy tales that will be set in the same world as this. With a lot of the characters that feature in this will feature in theirs. They'll have their own stories eventually, when I get time to write them. But I have lots of plans basically for all the different fairy tales. It's just going to take me a while. But this was actually a duology, so I'm doing the duology is this series, which is what's on this notebook right now. So I've been writing that one for a few months now, drafting it, just first draft. I am 30 chapters in, I'm about to land my 30th chapter. all handwritten at the moment. And then I will be typing it up, and obviously then I'll do lots of editing once that's finished. It's going to need a lot of work. I've got all my chapters planned out. It's going well. I'm enjoying it. This is what I have planned. Sorry, I thought I'd be able to show you, but apparently not. This is my notebook with all of my plans for all of my chapters. And as I get updated things happening, I'm scribbling down little things that I can add to it. And then I will write the plans for the chapter at the top of the page so that I can go back and tick it off once I've written it. Or I can scroll down. If something happens in there that's not the way it's written on here, not the way it's planned, I can add new things, and I'll do the same thing in the notebook. It's just my process. It helps. It helps me keep track of what I've done and what I'm yet to do. Because drafting, you get a lot of ideas, and then you're like, me personally, like, my characters go off on a tangent or whatever, or like something else happens that I think of in that moment while I'm actually writing. I can note it down. If I think it's better than what I had originally planned. And then I know that I've done that, and I can carry on with that for the next time I write the next scene or chapter. It just helps me remember and keep track of everything I'm doing. So I've been doing that for a while, a good few months now. However, the last couple of weeks, I decided to go back into a different novel, which is going to be called A Curse of Ash, Stone and Gold, and it is a Medusa-inspired story that I wrote a few years ago through NaNoWriMo. I actually had a really lovely revise and resubmit from an agent, but this was at the time, and the book is going to have a lot of changes because one of the main feedbacks I got from a friend from a beta reading thing around the same time was that you shouldn't put Medusa as a character into your secondary world, because a lot of my story is my own story and it's my own world, but it's just her character sort of added in. Or the idea is that she's a descendant of Medusa. She's not actually Medusa herself, but and she also has the abilities of King Midas, who can turn things to gold when he touches them. So now she's going to be a slightly different character. She'll be very much inspired by Medusa. No snakes for her. But her skin turns you to gold if you touch it. If you touch any of her, or she touches you. If you look in her eyes, she has the same thing that Medusa has, where she can turn you to stone. She's got like golden eyes, and her hair, if you touch her hair, will turn you to ash, like a flame has just fizzled out. So she is cursed, basically. There are three different things, three different parts of her curse. And the man who cursed her is the emperor from the enemy kingdom, and that is where she, of course, ends up in the story. So that is how I've rewritten the story so far. Because originally she was kind of a descendant of Medusa. She had the snakes for hair, she had the golden touch, and the stones for eyes and things like that. But I'm trying to make it more my own story, my own stuff, but with loose Greek mythology inspiration, if that makes sense. So that is the plan for this book. So I'm really enjoying it. I wrote the first 4 chapters, I think, and then I've been going through and trying to edit the chapters that I had already, but with new scenes being added, and then things that in those current scenes being tweaked to fit the new character and the new world, like the parts of the world that I've brought in, because obviously the world building's changed quite a lot. Because a lot of the Greek myth stuff was building up that world as well, but now that doesn't really work, so I'm kind of bringing in my own mythology for my own gods and stuff like that. So it's all fun. I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. I think that's why I'm writing 2 at once, because I can't get away from it. So it's a good thing. But I'm just hoping I still have the motivation to be able to get on with both of them, and I don't just end up leaving both of them and not doing anything, you know. So, but yeah, that is where I'm at right now. That's what I've been working on. I don't know, to be honest, what my publishing schedule is going to look like this year, because money is going to be very tight for a while. I'm trying to prioritize my child that is coming. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting everything planned for. You know, we have things to buy for. We haven't started buying anything yet, but my parents have helped me out with a little bit, and they'll be helping me with some stuff after I have my 20-week scan, because we just want to know that everything's okay, you know, and stuff before we start buying things. So yeah, that's the plan. And then it just means that I'm not going to as many events this year, because I'm trying to let myself be a little bit more relaxed and not put so much pressure on myself, which I think is a good thing to do, because, you know, especially when it comes towards the summer and I get heavily pregnant, and then the little one comes in August, maybe earlier, maybe later, who knows. Then, you know, they're never on time, are they? And yeah, the school holidays, I'm hoping to make it till the end of my school year, which is the end of July, 23rd. And then still have my August as holiday with the school I work with. And then I'm hoping if that happens, then I will be able to start my maternity in September. And yeah, that's the plan, if I can. It just depends how I feel towards the end of my pregnancy, if I start to get really uncomfortable in those last few weeks, but we'll see. During the 4th of August, so. But yeah, it kind of makes things a little bit harder to plan towards publishing things, because I know that the money is going to be tight after September onwards, if I'm able to do the maternity from then, because, you know, for the next year I'm going to be on I'll be on 90% at first, and then I'll be on half pay, which is not going to be very easy for me or my partner paying rent, or whatever. But hopefully, you know, it'll be okay if we can get any support we can, you know. But it's just making my publishing things a little bit more difficult. But if I can, I'll do it. And if I get any money for my birthday, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, I'm planning to put that towards a book cover for the one that follows The Girl Behind the Glass, because that is the one that is probably going to be coming next. After that, it might be A Curse of Ash, Stone and Gold, or it might be I might end up start writing something else, the sequel to Still Princess and Songbird Air, possibly, which is my other series. I will have to write that one as well. That's the problem with having two series, but, you know, that's how it goes. But yeah, that is where I'm at right now. That's the plan. It's been fun. I'm enjoying the sunshine coming back around, so that's all good. But yeah, thank you guys as always for the love and support, and I will talk to you in a new video very soon.